This is my one chance to prove Hitler wrong. Jesse Owens, one chance. I knew all along. This one chance to make them see. I have one chance to prove it to me. Raised in Ohio, the plan couldn't break me. The Buckeye bullets, golden opportunity. Now I'll reach for that goal. Take my race to Berlin. Rock this old world with the heart to win. It's my one chance to prove Hitler wrong. Jesse Owens, one chance. I knew all along. This one chance to make them see. I have one chance to prove it to me. Swift up, swift down, this bullet will fly. The world will see Jesse's reason why we live and we die. My only race to win is Jesse Owens' heat. This is the bullet's race within. This is my one chance to prove Hitler wrong. Jesse Owens, one chance. I knew all along. This one chance to make them see. I have one chance to prove it to me. 4 golds later, he made it clear how he felt. Didn't shake my hand, nor would Roosevelt. Now I am gone, brothers all, our race goes on. This is your one chance to prove Hitler wrong. This is our chance, this is our song. Take your one chance to make them see. Take this one chance and race with me.
Good morning, horse. 0 people. 0 people at 11 a.m. That's why we did it at 10 a.m. before, I guess. I was going to go live at 10 a.m. as per the usual schedule. Wound up not doing that because I hurt my back yesterday and could not get my ass out of bed until just a couple hours ago, so I could get up and get my face on. And apparently need to find a new way of combing my hair. But in any event, so hello, Cora Horse in the future. It's your favorite First Herald sitting here talking to himself. So good to see you. I did want to tell you, though, as people start coming in, because I'm sure I'll get some stragglers at some point, that the future is female. In 1936, in Nashville, Tennessee, 11-year-old Nancy Grace Roman started a school astronomy club. Now, it was the start of a passion for science that shaped the whole world. She earned a bachelor's degree in astronomy from Swarthmore College in 1946 and a doctorate from the University of Chicago in 1949, where she conducted research and went on to teach astronomy. Recognizing limited opportunities for women in academia, she transitioned to the Naval Research Laboratory in 1955. Her work there included mapping the Milky Way and participating in the first radar measurements of the distance to the moon, a full decade before men would land there. In 1959, Roman became NASA's first chief of astronomy and the agency's first female executive. In this role, she was instrumental in establishing NASA's space astronomy program. Good, got that out of the way. In her career, she launched satellites that explored the cosmic background radiation, which is the afterglow of the Big Bang. But perhaps the most notable achievement of her career was fighting for and planning the Hubble Space Telescope, which earned her the title the Mother of Hubble. She retired from NASA in 1979, at the age of 54, but continued to contribute to the field as a consultant and educator. She passed away on Christmas Day, 2018. 2 years later, NASA announced that the world's, good. 2 years later, NASA announced that the Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope, or WFIRST, would be renamed the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. Roman has a field of view over 200 times larger than Hubble's, and its advanced chronograph will directly image exoplanets, that's planets in other solar systems, surpassing all existing space-based coronagraphs. Did I say chronographs? Yeah, I said coronagraphs, didn't I? Sorry. It's the first space telescope named after a woman, and it's scheduled to launch next year. Now, when girls look to the images and data produced by the Nancy Grace Roman telescope, will they be moved because a woman made this happen? Will they be moved that a human being could do that? Will they think, Nancy Grace Roman changed things, and so can I? Probably not, the way that we're growing. In January 2025, the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope was integrated into the spacecraft that will take Roman to begin her mission next year. But in February, a team of government inspectors toured the Roman telescope at Goddard Space Center. On the date of this government team's arrival, an email was circulated to all personnel advising them to comply with this inspection as mandated by executive order, meaning that the team has probably been sent by Elon Musk's Doge to evaluate it for budget cuts. This last week, Linda McMahon, the First Lady of the WWE, was confirmed by the U.S. Senate as Secretary of Education. Her first act as the head of the department was to send an email with the subject line, "Our final mission." But none of that is what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm worried. I'm really worried. And I mask that worry with excitement because we can't afford to allow the anxieties about the future to cloud our judgment or to discourage us from carrying on. We need to fight. And every fight needs soldiers, and every fight needs generals. The reason why I am excited is that I believe that the future generals of the movement of the Church of Korihor will include women of all kinds, women from all backgrounds. We need white women and we need women of color. We need young women. We need older women. We need trans women. We need gay women. We need bisexual women. And that's lucky because there apparently are plenty of those in supply. We need women in STEM. We need women in the arts. We need women who have a background as parents. We need women who are childless by choice. Korohorism needs women. You know, in the brief period of time that we have existed as the Church of Korihor, I have so far ordained only women to this organization. It wasn't by plan. It just how it happened. And this is one of the great strengths that we have. You see, the Church of Korihor is a dark horse in the game of organizing for a religious movement. in that we aren't being noticed by our major competitors in this field. You know, first of all, there are so few churches for godless people out there. They exist, the Satanic Temple, the Divine Assembly, the Humanist Association, etc., and they're great. And whatever we can do to support those organizations in carrying out their mission, we are going to do. We need to do. But here in Utah, where I am, our main competitor is one you know very well. And it's one in which women have been trying to get an equal status to men really since the beginning, since Emma Smith. And it's a movement where, frankly, not a lot of progress has been made. I give a whole sermon with that schmutz on me? Lovely. I spilled coffee on myself. Who knows what else I did? Such a slob. But the thing about the thing that really excites me about the future is that our government appears to be getting out of the education business. The purpose of the Department of Education originally, its main purpose, was to ensure that people who were the children of slaves would have the opportunities after slavery was ended to have the same opportunities for a future as children who were born free. And it was looked on in the 19th century pretty much as a joke. They didn't believe that it could be done. They believed they just had to invest in making it look like it could be done. But then a strange thing happened over the course of the next 100 years. Over the course of the next 100 years, people in industry began to realize that the more people in America who have an education is the more people in America who have money to spend. Strange thing that. And the more people who have money to spend is the more taxes they can pay, is the less taxes that wealthy people will have to pay. And then as they started to invest in that, they began to see something else. People with educations tend to advance technology. People with education tend to advance systems and make systems better. And then if you have an educated workforce, you have educated customers, you have an educated populace, they make better decisions and they start to improve the lives, not just of themselves and their families, they start to improve everyone's life. And that includes making more money. And it means having more money for the government to spend. And so people, even, Ronald Reagan, who is dead, I can't endorse him. So this is not a political endorsement. But Ronald Reagan ran on the promise that he was going to put an end to the Department of Education. Now it's looking like it'll actually happen. Why didn't it happen in the 80s when Reagan was president? Well, because he actually got into office and discovered that the Department of Education is absolutely necessary to the future of an economy that thrives. Oh, turns out cutting the Department of Education is an idea that goes well on the sales pitch of a ticket, not so well in the history books. And so while Reagan was president, he actually invested more in education. There's a reason why they swear they're going to put an end to the Department of Education. I mean, there must be a reason why. And there must be a reason why they're doing it now. But the reasons why that we can surmise, I'm trying to be as politically correct as possible, we can come up with all the reasons why. You can guess why. I can guess why. Which of us is right? Maybe we'll never know. But what I can tell you is this. In every setback, there is an opportunity. And the reason why this is important now, what I'm telling you about how the future is female, and fantastic is that as of now, there's an organization in the world that is looking at all of the churches, institutions with significant wealth and significant power, and saying, what are they avoiding? What are they not doing? What is being missed here? In words that Linda McMahon, First Lady of Wrestling, could probably understand very well, that organization is a disruptor. It's a disruptor because it can make any choice that it wants. It can make any decisions that it wants. And the decision that we have made, the Church of Korihor, is that we are going to ordain women. Not because we want to be perceived as equal, not even because we want to be equal. Those are plenty good enough reasons in and of themselves. We ordain women because if you don't, you are cutting out half of the brain power of any movement. Not only, and statistically speaking, actually more than half. And not only that, but probably the more important half, because women have been so marginalized, not just in our society, but in churches. They have been marginalized in government. They have been marginalized even in education, where men consistently become the ones who advance the fastest and to the highest positions most of the time. Education is not just about equality. Education is not just about learning. Education is an investment into the future, and women look to the future. Girls look to the future. If you don't have their voices making key decisions, then you're not an organization that's looking forward. And I'm excited by the women who have been drawn to the Church of Korihor. All of the Godless Sermons in this now 14 of them altogether, the only other people who have given Godless Sermons so far have been women. That's because I believe that women are being drawn to this. I don't go out and specifically try to bring women to it. They find their way here, and they find that when they get here, their voices are heard. Now, one of the most remarkable things to me, I've said this before, but some of you are hearing it for the first time for me, is that, when I ask women to give Godless Sermons, well, it just so happens that the opportunities have come up for women more so than men so far. I haven't asked any men yet. I've had a couple in mind that I'm thinking about. I would get asked. All of them so far have been ex-Mormon women, and when I ask them, would you like to give a Godless Sermon for the Church of Korihor? They ask me, of course, well, what is it about? What's the talk about? Because that's that's our experience. And I love that question, because I smile when I say, I don't know. You tell me. I just need to know so I can make the thumbnail to go up on the YouTube link beforehand. They say, yes, but what do you want me to talk about? And I tell them what's in your soul, what's in your heart, what's important to you. I don't know what I don't know. That's why I'm here to learn from you. I get a lot of credit, sometimes. And you guys know that I get really uncomfortable with that. For listening to women. I get told that on a regular basis. And it makes me uncomfortable. You know that, I'm not great with a compliment. But I can't help but look at that and think, it's kind of like being complimented for drinking water. Everybody should do it. We just don't do it enough. It's kind of like getting complimented for breathing air. If we don't do it, we'll die. That's what it means to be complimented for listening to women. We should be doing it anyways. The only reason I'm getting complimented is because we so often don't, particularly men. And that includes me. All my life, I didn't realize how marginalized women had been in my personal life, and how 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 privilege puts the voice of women aside without needing to make a conscious decision to say, well, let's not let any women speak at this. Let's not let any women do this. Let's not. It's as easy as just put a system here where they sit in the pews and you sit on the stand. And if nobody says anything, then there's not a problem. And there it is. This is easy as it is. And then men telling women what they are to say, what they are to speak. It's not just that it's not right. It's that it's stupid. Because if we tell women what their voice can say, we miss out on what their mind is making, on what we don't know. That's why I do as much as I can to learn from people who are smarter than me. And the first question I ask, wherever I can, is how many of them are women? How many of them are women of color? Can I talk to those women? Can I get those women's voices in my ears? Can I put them up on to the platform and pass the mic to them and say, listen, women are going to speak to us and we need to hear them. Not because it's right, not because it's feminist, not because it's the opposite of wrong, which, is that right? I don't know. Because women are thinking things that our system isn't thinking, and they have a perspective that can look to the future. That's why we need more Nancy Grace Romans and fewer Linda McMahons. Linda McMahon, I don't know if you know this, but she has a bachelor's degree in education. To the best of my knowledge, she's never taught. And her experience in education, other than that, is that she was a state secretary of education, I believe, or head of a state school board for about a year. And then she quit so that she could run for Senate. And now she's looking to end the Department of Education altogether. When I look to the future, I think, okay, where's the opportunity? One of the biggest concerns I have is that programs like my son's ABA therapy, or programs like the GED prep that my older children are engaged in, depend on funding from the Department of Education. Other cuts to other departments will affect them as well. We are looking very plausibly right now to a near future where services for people who are developmentally delayed, for people who are neurospicy, for people who have challenges, being able to attend school because they're not as mobile, or because they aren't as because they don't have as much money. All of those programs are likely to be affected by the decisions that are being made right now, and that you and I can't stop, frankly. At least not that I'm aware of. And I think, what is their plan for the future? These people who are in control, who are in power right now, what do they see for the future? How do they think education plays a role in the future? How do they think women will play a role in the future? And the answer, frankly, is I don't think that they do. I think that this is about winning elections. It's about raising money for parties. It's about raising money for corporations. Okay, fine. All those have to happen in our system. So, okay, great. But what is the future for us as a people? I try to give people the benefit of a doubt. I try to think there must be a plan, and I just don't know what it is. And this is the best that I've come up with so far. I think they think churches will step in and take over. Linda McMahon, with all her fantastic business prowess, I'm sure she's a real genius when it comes to wrestling. I don't know enough about it to say one way or another. But I think one of the interesting things I learned about her since all this happened is that she sits on the school board of a Catholic school, a Catholic university in Connecticut. That's her credibility. That's her background. Besides the fact that she got a degree in education a long time ago, and she was briefly head of some school board, I think Connecticut school board or something. And I look to that and I think she must think that she is opening up doors for Catholic schools or for Christian schools to step in and start taking over education that was previously public education. But if churches are the only ones who can make education possible in the future, then there needs to be a godless church that's going to be out there making sure that some of that education is secular. Now, I don't have access to the resources for the Church of Korihor to suddenly start opening schools in every state in the union. I don't have those kinds of resources. It's going to take a lot of money if it's going to happen. But what we do have is people. People we have. Godless people. Do you find godless people who are interested in women in STEM? Yeah. First of all, you've got, frankly, I mean, I don't have the statistics to back this up. This is a guess, but I'm going to guess most of the women in STEM. Do you have women in education who are going to shape the future, that need opportunities to shape the future? I'm sure that there are. The only way we can know for sure is to make the opportunity for those women to step up and step in and take their place, the place that they are in a purposeless universe meant to be in. Not because there's any force that designs the future for us, but because willpower on the part of human beings is what makes things happen in our society, in our human-oriented world that we've created. And those women need opportunities. And that's why it is discouraging to think that the current religious field is what will probably shape the future of education in America. Because most of those churches, whether you're talking about the Catholic Church, whether you're talking about the Mormon Church, whether you're talking about evangelicals, they either don't ordain women at all, or for the most part, they marginalize the role that women who are ordained play in the structure and government of the church. There are no female cardinals. There are no female apostles in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. There are women in the Apostles of the Communion of Christ Church. Unfortunately, that church is sinking. From what I understand, their new prophet is also a woman. But unfortunately, that church, they're saying, may have seen its last Easter, as they say. They're coming up on General Conference, and they're bankrupt, basically. And I look to this and I say, is the Church of Korihor going to change education? And if it is, which is part of our mission, part of our plan, is to have missions of reason that open up to provide services in things like in enlightenment. Enlightenment is our word for education. Now, what role will women play in the future of education because of the Church of Korihor? The blunt answer is I don't know, because I'm a man. I don't know what I don't know. But I know this. If you give women an opportunity to step up, if you give women an opportunity to speak, they'll tell you something. And in my life, I recognize that those women have told me most of the most important things I've ever learned. It turns out you don't have to be phenomenally wise to make a system that will develop and grow and make leaders, and leaders who lead at the cutting edge of the future. You don't have to be a genius. You don't need, we have 12 basic values of the Church of Korihor. You only need one. For this, you only need one. Pass the mic to women. Give women a chance. And they will show you what you don't know that you don't know. And that's the reason why this week we've created something. We'll see if it works, because I've had a bit of a problem with StreamYard lately. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. I'll open up my chat here. People can tell me. Oh, you guys want to weigh in from the chat here, guys? Do you see a screen with a page that says, what does a luminary of reason do? You scream at me and holler if that's not true. I'm going to switch over. So, what does a luminary of reason do? This is the top of this screen. This will probably change in the near future. At the Church of Korihor, we believe that a woman's role is to lead. Her wisdom and power is not from gods or men, but from her own experience, learning, and humanity. Are you destined to be ordained as a luminary of reason? So you'll see this is a pretty brief encapsulation of what our vision for women is in the future. That she stands up for the marginalized, that she serves the community. She officiates weddings, divorces, and memorials. That she grows and helps others to grow. She leads the way. It's a very basic page to get somebody excited about the future that women can play in our movement, and how that is an opportunity for them. We have purchased a new URL. It's weordainwomen.org. Don't go there yet, you people there in the live chat. It's not live yet. It will direct to this webpage. We plan to start selling bumper stickers, or giving people opportunities to buy bumper stickers that say weordainwomen.org. And other merchandise in the future. What merchandise do we need for that? Who knows? You guys tell me, what do we need? I see a possibility for the future here where we start promoting, every individual person becomes a luminary to go out there and say, whether it's with a pin or with a bumper sticker or a window decal or a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, maybe a flag, maybe, whatever we should do. I'm looking to you guys. Tell me, how can we do this? How can we do it better? And say to people out there, we ordain women. We have from the start. We've never not ordained women. Ordaining women is not just woke. It's not just fair. It's frankly smart in that it's not stupid, because overlooking women and marginalizing women means that every religious organization out there that does this, that neglects women, is at half brain power or less compared to us, statistically speaking. There's a serious brain drain in the future of religious movement in America. in that women are going to, in the future, increasingly see that the future driven by the dogmas of the past is a stupid future. It's one that's not paying attention. I said earlier, what is Linda McMahon's vision of the future? Is the future that people like her see for education and for women in STEM, women in arts, women in parenting roles? I think the frank matter is that they don't see a future for the most part. And the more that I look and spy on what religious movements are doing, especially in the Mormon world, the answer is increasingly that they think that in the next year or two, or at least in the near living future, that Jesus is coming back. That's it. They're waiting on a man from the sky and the end of the world. Now, most of them probably do believe that the ending of this world starts something new, the millennial reign of Christ, the rapture, whatever, right? The apocalypse. But it means that we're actually actively making the choice to not invest in the future, to actually stop believing in education and to stop educating the brightest minds of our future. We can't afford it. We cannot afford it. This is a future that is female. And it's fantastic. But only if we let women lead the way. Only if we get women in this movement and get them to tell us not only what we don't know, but what we don't know that we don't know, in a world where too many decisions are being made by men. Amen. Planning to do a Linger Longer. Unfortunately, I didn't generate a link for it. Those of you who would like to join us for Linger Longer and have a little chat, you're certainly welcome to. I want to let you guys know that I am excited about the future. I know I said a lot of pessimistic things, but you know me, I am a pessimist. But now I think about it, I say, if the way to be excited about the future is to decide that you're not going to let setbacks discourage you, then I'm going to choose to be excited and see opportunities. You know, Winston Churchill said that success is going from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. I'm not a stoic, but I do like me some stoicism. And he was one of the better ones. Not such a great administrator, though. But, you know, can only expect so much from a man. Let's have a closing hymn. I'm going to replay One Chance because a lot of you who are coming in right now didn't get a chance to see it. And I want people who came to the live to have a chance to see our newest hymn for the Church of Korihor, celebrating the incredible man who was Jesse Owens. And then let's start making more hymns about women. What do you think? I do love me some First Book and Last, though. You know what? People in the future have already seen One Chance, which, by the way, is up on our shorts on YouTube. Let's do First Book and Last instead. That's a good idea. Good idea, Joe. My mama didn't raise no fool. I'll see you whores. I'll see you whores at Linger Longer.
A young girl writes treasured thoughts by candlelight, yet unaware, with hopes father's testament on every page, an offered kiss, a girl admired her innocence and youth inspired, a passion burns in the diarist's heart, a secret wish, a forgotten start. First book and